or even good morning to some of the countries. Thanks a lot. Okay, now just to introduce you to the organization, as first 5-10 minutes, people usually uh, they join. So I'll just talk about a little bit about the organization and also about myself. Anexas has been enabling individuals and organizations achieve excellence since 2006. And we have trained more than 150,000 people, and a lot of green belts and black belt projects have been done by us. And also, about myself, I'm a chemical engineer and I'm an MBA. If I take you back around 33 years ago, I used to work very hard. I was just earning $30 per month. And I'm not joking. That was the kind of salaries we used to get those days. I'm also an amateur poet, by the way. I write in Hindi and English, and a lot of poems and articles have been published in various magazines. And I was very hardworking. I'm still hardworking, but those days I was more hardworking. But I was not getting the results I wanted. And one fine day, my organization declared that the top 10 highest performing individuals or employees in the organizations will be given Lean Six Sigma training, and they have to complete a project, and they will get Lean Six Sigma certification, and they will be certified as a black belt. So I thought I was one of the high performing employees, but unfortunately the organization did not think so, and I was not nominated for such training. And anyway, but good thing what I saw was that these employees, when they underwent the training and when they completed the project, they could save a lot of money for the organization, and they could make a lot of positive difference to the organization's bottom line. So I thought maybe next batch I will get the chance, but that opportunity never came. So I decided that I would do it myself. I invested a little bit of money, and that was quite a good money in those days for me. But still, I went ahead. I invested money in my certification. I got the training. I traveled, in fact, because it was very rarely. It was a rare training done by very selected institutes those days. So I traveled, I invested money, and finally I became a Lean Six Sigma black belt and later on master black belt. And as I said before you, I'm a Lean Six Sigma master black belt, data scientist, PMP, CPHQ, 32.5, or you can say 33 years of experience, consulted more than 200 organizations, including 15 Fortune 100 companies, trained more than 150,000 professionals, and author of 2 books, etc. And I have guided more than 1,000 projects in multiple domains and spoken in various reputed conferences like KSQ, IQPC, Hospital Management Asia, etc. So, well, why I'm telling you all these things? Because I think you can achieve much more than this, because there's a huge requirement of Lean Six Sigma professionals in the whole world. The next decade belongs to data analytics, and Lean Six Sigma is data analysis in action. So you improve the processes by doing and by performing data analysis on your processes. So you'll get a good taste of this analysis today. And today you'll not be learning only from my experience, but also from what my students have achieved, because I've been conducting this training for the last 25 years. And a lot of my students who did the training around 25 years ago, they're well placed and they keep sharing their experiences with me. Some of the photographs, just to prove that I've been conducting Lean Six Sigma trainings worldwide. I always take pride in telling that I was the person who conducted the first ever Lean and Six Sigma black belt training anywhere in the Middle East. And that happened, in fact, for a hospital. Incidentally, it happened for a hospital, King Khalid Eye Specialist Hospital. Later on, a lot of quality heads of different hospitals like King Fahd Medical City, KSUMC, and many more. They attended this training program. And simultaneously after that, I also did a program for Engineers Forum and Aramco and SABIC and Nakhel and so on and so forth. So lots and lots of training programs around the world. This is one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in Switzerland, based on Switzerland. You see on the right side, Riyadh Bank, Maersk in Denmark, Novartis in Switzerland, a lot of awards in various forums. And yeah, so appearance in TV programs,
I am Shekhar Suman, and I wish to
business show,
congratulate all the
and
Six Sigma
lots and lots of
certified
articles
black belts.
around the world.
On 21st of May
Americans
2019, I'm going to speak in American Society of Quality's World Conference in Fort Worth, Texas.
and lots of so we have got many credentials, a lot of articles in Economic Times, etc. Well, so that was about myself, and I just was waiting for a lot of people to join in. Now we have got almost more than 120 people who have just joined. So welcome, special welcome to everyone. And let us start now learning what is Lean and Six Sigma. Can you find some similarities here? A manufacturing company improves production by 30%. A hospital reduces discharge time of patients from a couple of hours, from 3 hours to 15 minutes. 64% reduction in recruitment time in a multinational company. Hotel improves customer experience and increases booking to almost 2 times. A bank reduces errors and cycle times by 80% with enhanced customer satisfaction, and insurance claims times reduced by 70%. So can you tell me, and you can write in the chat box, what are the similarities here? What are the things you find similar? Okay, so Toheb is telling increase efficiency, Amit, time is reduced. And so a lot of people, Rafat, Muhammad, Clifford, Duwera, and so almost everyone is right. Yes. They're all about improvements. And also one more common thread running through all these bullet points is that all of them are Lean Six Sigma projects. So, well, what is Lean Six Sigma? Lean Six Sigma uses project approach. What is the basic definition of a project? The basic definition of a project is it has a starting point and it has an end point. It starts and ends. It is a one-time endeavor. It doesn't remain forever, right? So that is what a project is. So you choose projects, improvement projects, by identifying the improvement opportunities. So whatever you want to improve in a process, just convert this into a project. And that's what we have done in multiple organizations, including Bank Muscat, Colgate-Palmolive, and many organizations around the world. And all of these projects, improvement projects, have reduced the costs, reduced the defects, reduced the waste, reduced the rework, reduced the cycle times, and improved quality, production efficiency, productivity, customer satisfaction, capacity, profitability, resilience. And which CEO would not love a person who can achieve all of these things? So, well, Lean Six Sigma is like a magic wand, but actually it is not a magic wand. It is a methodology which transforms the organization. Let me talk about a little bit of a history of Six Sigma and how it all started. So, Lean Six Sigma. Anyone knows Lean Six Sigma? Where did it start?
Are those individuals who can do improvement projects in the organization by choosing improvement opportunities and converting these improvement opportunities into projects. It all started in Motorola when Bob Galvin, the CEO, took a challenge saying that I would like to improve everything by 5 times in the organization. And he was told about some statistical tools and techniques which Bill Smith and Michael Harry were using to improve the processes. Bob Galvin was so much impressed with what Bill Smith and Michael Harry were doing, he told them to develop a methodology which if applied to the organizational processes, can improve the processes. So he was particularly impressed with what Bill Smith and Michael Harry were doing. They were choosing improvement projects. Now, what is the definition? As I told you, definition of a project is it has a starting point, it has an end point, it doesn't exist after some time. So Bill Smith and Michael Harry would translate the improvement opportunities in the organization to projects, and applying tools and techniques of statistics, they would find the root causes of the problem, and then after solving the root causes of the problem would impact the organizational bottom line. Both of them developed Six Sigma DMAC methodology. They started training the green belts and black belts. Green belts and black belts were the people who could fight all the quality related problems in the organizations. Six Sigma brought in a lot of benefits for Motorola, and it also won Malcolm Baldrige Award in 1988. Jack Welch of GE was so much impressed with this methodology that he told his employees that you would not be promoted if you are not a green belt. So everyone wanted to be a green belt, everyone started doing projects. Then GE started telling their vendors and suppliers that if you want to have business from GE, you need to implement Six Sigma. So vendors also started asking what is Six Sigma, and GE would say that we will send our master black belts and train you in this methodology. So in this manner, Lean Six Sigma spread out around the world, and today almost 80% of the Fortune 100 companies and many, many more companies around the world have implemented Six Sigma and Lean. Lean started in Toyota.
So Lean started in Toyota, but let us not speak much about the history now. Let me tell you directly, what do you mean by Lean and Six Sigma? So see, there are two terms here, Lean and Six Sigma. Lean is about reducing the waste or the wasteful activities in the organization, and Six Sigma is about reducing the variation in the organization. So if I wanted to put it in simple words, Lean is about mapping the process and identifying the non-value added activities or wasteful steps in the organization. Now, what are non-value added activities? See, every organization has set of processes which produce an output. Yeah. Every organization has a set of processes which produce an output. So we have an organization, a set of processes, and some process steps. They produce an output. Now I am making a model of all the organizations in the world. Think of your own organization and it will fit into this model. So we have lots of inputs which are converted through various processes or process steps. So I can say, let's take an example of only one process, although your organization has got multiple processes, yeah, which deliver an output. And what is the basic definition of a process? The basic definition of a process is anything which is repeated again and again. That is a process, a set of steps repeated again and again and again and again, multiple times, delivering an output. That is what a process is. So you have processes delivering the outputs. These outputs, they are given to they are received by the customers. They are received by the customers. Yeah. And the inputs are supplied by the suppliers. Inputs are supplied by the suppliers. Yeah. And we have customers giving feedback. Customers giving feedback about the output. to the central team or the strategy team, you can say, of the organization. So strategy or planning team or scheduling team. Yeah. And this team, based on the feedback and also the demand of the products which the customer has for our outputs, based on that, it will inform the suppliers to supply the raw materials. Now, please remember, when I say raw materials, doesn't mean always manufacturing. Yeah. For services industries like bank or healthcare, the raw materials could be information. Raw materials could be intangible in nature as well. Skills can be one of the raw materials. Now, this whole map is also known as systems map. Systems map. And a more popular name for this map is value stream map, also known as VSM. Okay. Value stream map. So let us call it as value stream map. It comes from the systems thinking given by Deming. Dr. Deming was a quality guru and he gave us the concept of systems thinking. Now, also let me tell you, any output of any organization, and I'm talking about all the organizations, as I told you, this is a model for all the organizations in the world, and try to fit your organization in this model and you'll find it fits really well. Are you able to fit it? Now, let me also tell you, the outputs are either products or services. Outputs are either products or services. Yeah, there's no third type of output, only either output or services. And in these outputs and services, you have some of the key measures which the customers are interested in. We call them as CTQs. Critical to quality characteristics, CTQs. Critical to quality characteristics. Typical CTQs or measures of either a product or a service are cycle time of delivering a particular product or service. It could be cost, it could be quality, or you can say errors or defects. So every customer, they want to be happy, right? This is a customer. They want to be happy. On this output related to these measures of the products and services. Cycle time, cost, errors, defects, and many more measures which could be related to that specific product or service. So for example, if you are manufacturing chocolates, the weight of the chocolate could be one of the measures, right? Taste of the chocolate could be one of the measures. Apart from cycle time of delivery of chocolates, along with the cost of chocolates, along with the errors or defects, errors something which you don't need or the customer don't require, don't want. That is an error or a defect. That's the basic definition of a defect or an error. And the whole organization, and for that matter, all the organizations in the world, they want to keep the customers happy. Yeah. So customers are happy if you are delivering the outputs, which is the product or services, as per the specifications set by the customer in terms of CTQ, critical to quality measures. I hope you are able to understand me, and if I hope you are with me, please let me know. This is known as value stream map, and I just described a model, organizational model of almost all the organizations in the world. Is my speed okay? Just wanted to check. I hope you are with me. Yeah, thanks. So thanks, Chuku and Muhammad and all Anwar, Muhammad, Lasit, Silva. Okay, Lasit, how are you? Nilesh, a lot of people from all over the world now. So Sarika, thank you, Daniel. Thanks. Very good. Now let us complicate the matters. if you're with me now, let me complicate. And those who have joined recently, don't worry. This session is being recorded, so you can watch this as many times as you want at a later stage as well. So I'll not be repeating anything. If you have missed out on anything, just don't worry. You can watch this as many times as possible. Now, as I close this page, just remember S of suppliers, I of inputs, P of process, O of output, and C of customers. And we'll be using a tool called SIPOC, supplier input, process, output, customer, which is one of the tools of Lean Six Sigma. And what it's a significance, I will tell you after a short one. Great. Now, please understand the customers. Why? They are not, I'm sorry to tell you, but they're not interested in the output. They're not interested in the product or services. They're interested in the value which the customer derives from the output. Once again, customers are interested in the value which they derive from the output. Say, for example, if you're in healthcare, what is the output? Patient treatment. You follow multiple processes, isn't it? You follow multiple processes. You receive the patient, register the patient, the triage, etc., or seeing the doctor, giving the medicine, or if a patient needs to be admitted, then treating the patient. So finally, the output is treated patient, a treatment given to the patient. Received by, of course, the customer. Here, customer is the patient, or the family members of the customers are the patients, of the patients are the customers, right? So what is the value? Value is better health. So please understand, the medicines which you are giving to the patients is not the value. Actually, the value is the improved health. That is the value. When you are, say, manufacturing a car, the output is a car, which is a product here. Actually, ability to transport a person from one place to another place in a luxurious environment, that is the value customer is looking at. So please understand, value may be sometimes different from what you physically see or what you think. It is different from the product or the service. Now, if you think about the value and consistently think about the value, you will make your customers happy. Today, what is the value of this training? You are my customer, right? What is the value you are looking at? You are looking at increase in knowledge of some tools and techniques to improve your processes. That is the value. Of course, you are looking at yellow belt certificate towards the end, which of course you will get. You will get the knowledge for sure. Plus, you will get certificate. Plus, you will get maybe opportunity to learn further, graduate to green belt or a black belt, which I am going to tell you towards the end of the session. And all of you can do it very easily. And the way I've been teaching this for the last 25 years, and I can tell you, it is not complicated, although the tools and techniques are very complex, which you will see. Today, I'm going to give you the glimpses of those tools and techniques, but it is very easy to learn. So today, if I'm looking at value, a lot of things I'm doing in the organization, which we think are important or are providing value to the customer, but unfortunately, they are not providing value. Say, for example, to deliver this training, if I come to your city, so that is transportation. I may think transportation is important, or I may stay in a hotel. Staying in the hotel, I may think it is of value, but from customer's perspective, it is of no value. My traveling in a taxi, going to the airport, sitting in the lounge, and taking a flight, etc., they are of no value to the customers. Customer is always looking at value. And what is the value? Definition of value. Anything which the customer is willing to pay for. Customer is willing to pay for, willing to pay. Anything which the customer is willing to pay. Anything which is done right the first time. Right the first time. If you are doing something one more time, if you're doing something one more time, no. If you are rework, anything starting with re is a waste. And any step. So I'm just describing value added steps. So as you can see, there are multiple steps. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4. Multiple steps which are delivering the value, the final output, which is of value to the customers. Although there are multiple steps, but still, only some steps are value added. And which are those value added steps? Where the customer is, the steps for which the customer is willing to pay for, it is done right the first time, and it brings the inputs, closer to the output, closer to outputs. So these steps are value added steps, and remaining are non-value added steps. Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. Thanks for your comment in the chat box. So we are now looking at understanding which are value added steps and non-value added steps. Now it is very difficult to correlate value added and non-value added steps. And when I'm looking at non-value added steps, I can easily identify some of them as, we call it as 7 wastes. So I'm now trying to tell you about what is lean, and after that I'll go to the 6 Sigma part. Yes. So these are the 7 wastes: overproduction, waiting, transportation, overprocessing, inventory, rework, and rejections. Underutilized resources, or waste of intelligence of the people in our team. They are known as all non-value added steps. NVA, also known as muda. Muda in Japanese. We call it muda. Muda in Japanese means wastes. So for identifying the waste in the system, you should do first. You should do Gemba. Gemba means go to the field. Go to the place of action. Go to the place of action, okay, where the action is taking place. We also call it as a Gemba walk. Go and see for yourself how the things are taking place, and then identify the waste or muda, or non-value added activities. I hope you know what is non-value added activities. These are the opposites. Non-value added activities are which are not value added. They are all known as muda. So you do a Gemba walk. Gemba walk means go to the place of action, see for yourself how the things are taking place. And after that, identify the non-value added steps in the whole process and remove them as much as possible remove or reduce. See, you can't remove everything. So you'll say reduce. Remove or reduce the non-value added activities and come out with a should be process map. Should be process map. So when you are at Gemba walk, you will say as is process map or as is value stream map. You can also say like. So some of the non-value activities example are transportation. Okay, so let me talk about non-value activities. A lot of people are from healthcare today. So let me let me show you. I'll just jump a little bit ahead, although that was coming in a little later. So first half an hour I'm devoting to lean, and after that 1 hour I'll be devoting to Six Sigma. Yeah. So searching for the items, it is waste. You should not search. It is not adding any value to the customers. Over time, it is not adding value to the customer. Sometimes you will see overtime of a skilled worker actually leads to errors, especially in hospitals. So I will just, first example I'll take from hospitals, then I'll take an example from other industries as well. So in waste of intelligence, you hire a PhD person and give him data entry job. It's known as waste of intelligence. 70 to 80% of the work which you do are routine work, which can be done by any other person. He doesn't require an intelligent person like you to do these things. This is waste of your intelligence. You are designed to do better things for the organizations, but you end up doing routine, writing routine emails, attending some meetings which are not adding any value, etc. These are some of the examples. Waiting time, waiting for approval. In fact, approval process itself is a non-value added step. Yeah. Motion, transportation, which the customer is not willing to pay for. I gave my example, flying to your destination to conduct a training. That is not adding any value. So you will say, well, it is required. See, a step which is required and a step which is non-value, they are not the same. Step may be required today, but it may not be adding any value. Because of your technological constraints, the step might be required. So there is a lot of hidden wastes in our systems. Let me talk about this Chinese hospital. We did a Gemba walk, and let's take an example. In the blood test procedure, walking to the OPD, registering in OPD, walk to the lab. Now, what is the value we are looking at after the blood test? I want to know the status of the health of the patient, right? Now, walking to OPD, registering in OPD, walk to the lab is not required. It is not adding any value. Is it helping you to know the status of health of the patient? Not at all. Only two value-added steps here, drawing the blood and testing the blood. That's it. Processing the blood. That's it. These are the value-added, and remaining are non-value-added. Difficult to get convinced. But please trust me, other non-value added steps will not remain after 10 years. Yeah. They will be eliminated. Someone is trying to think of eliminating. Now we have a lot of hospitals, we have stopped. We have eliminated the registration step altogether. Walking unnecessarily altogether eliminated. So lots and lots of things. They may be required, but they may not be adding any value. Identify them, try to reduce as much as possible. Waste of intelligence example would be in a hospital, many of the calls are related, nursing calls are related to some housekeeping in nature. My pillow cover is dirty, my bed sheet is dirty. So nurse is not here to take care of that part. Nurse is here to give you the medicine, to nurse you, right? That is a non-value added activity of the for nurse I'm talking about. Yeah, for the nurse. It's a waste of intelligence. Waste of her intelligence. She will forget to give you the medicine if you involve her in other activities. So that needs to be done by someone else. So waste of intelligence is one example. Cardiology lab capacity was doubled from 8 to 16. The diagnosis to exam time was reduced drastically by almost 10 times by just redesigning the processes and identifying the non-value added steps. There are many, in fact, I will not go into the details of these case studies right now, because I have to give other examples from other industries as well, but thought of starting with healthcare, because I saw in the beginning that many of you are from healthcare. So our whole idea is to eliminate the waste in the system and produce value. Later on, I will also tell you how every repetitive process follows normal distribution. So that also I'll tell you in a short while. So unnecessary process, motion, unnecessary waiting, errors, all these are examples of waste. So a person who's underutilized is a waste. An equipment which is not utilized is a waste. Cost of a 5-minute MD walk, or MD is waiting, or a surgeon is waiting for the operation theater to be prepared. This is waste of his intelligence. On a lighter note, walk to elevator is 1 minute, elevator wait is 3 minutes, elevator travel is 1 minute, walk to lab or pharmacy is 1 minute, nurse cost per hour in the case of US is $50, cost of one trip of $5, cost of 5 trips per day per nurse is $25, and cost of elevator wait per day per nurse is $12. Multiplied by 200 nurses, multiplied by 365, it will run into few millions of dollars. So that much of waste is always present in all organizations. I just took an example of a hospital. You can think of this waste in warehouses, logistics company, banking industry, approvals, manufacturing industries, everywhere you have got the waste. So lab and pharmacy on second floor and radiation equipment on ground floor, just keep them on same floor and you'll eliminate the waste of motion. That will make the customers very happy. Unnecessary waiting time interruptions, waste. Example of there is another example of mistake proofing. Mistake proofing means even by mistake you cannot commit a mistake. So if you must have seen in the manufacturing industries you would have seen the defective product cannot be going into the packaging, because it can be identified by checking a weighing machine. It can identify and prevent a defective product from being packed, right? So similarly, right now I'm just giving healthcare example, but I'll come to manufacturing examples because people are all they are from different industries, right? Today, so I'll just don't worry. I'll give some examples of mistake proofing. Like for example, here any abnormal value will not be, it's not possible to enter. Another example is when you are trying to save a file. This is true for everyone, not only for healthcare. It's true for everyone. When you are trying to save a file or close a file, it asks you, would you like to save it? Yeah. And this prevents the mistake of you closing the file without saving it. Oxygen and nitrogen cylinders cannot be connected to each other because their connections are different. So even by mistake, you cannot commit a mistake. So this concept is known as Poka-yoke. So these are some of the lean concepts I just wanted to tell you. Fixed numbers of packages during the surgery will prevent anything being left in the body of the patient after the surgery. Complete catheter kits for insertion, so that you don't forget anything. These are some examples of the Poka-yoke waste. Well, now I spoke a lot about lean. Now let us come to the Six Sigma part as well. Before I go to the Six Sigma part, let me also answer one of the questions. Here I will take an example of maybe manufacturing industry. Although all these concepts are applicable to all industries, to banking, logistics, IT. Many of my clients are from IT industries. Soon I'll tell you all the data See, everything, all the processes, you are from manufacturing or a service or a IT or a healthcare, even Warner Brothers, they are also our clients. You may be from a theme park. All the processes can be expressed in numbers, in data, right? So we are going to learn some good data-oriented tools today. So let us take an example of, let's say you're manufacturing chocolates. Yeah. And the customer or one of the CPHQ or the measure is weight of the chocolate. And the customer tells you that the weight of the chocolate should be, let us say, 100 grams plus minus, let us say 3 grams. Okay. That means lower specification limit is 97 grams and upper specification limit is 103 grams. I hope you agree with me. I hope you are with me. Just let me know, are you with me? The weight of the chocolate, which the customer wants, is 100 grams plus minus 3 grams. So lower specification limit is 97 grams and upper specification limit is 103 grams. S means specification limit. I'll just write it here. Lower specification limit. Okay. And upper specification. We can also write LSL and USL. Now, this is true for almost all processes. It is a lower specification limit. It is an upper specification limit. 97 and 103. Now, not all chocolates produced by me will be lying within this range, which I can also call it as voice of customer. Customer is telling you, please produce between 97 to 103 grams. Ideally, you should produce 100. But when you actually really collect the data, you'll find that not every chocolate is 100 grams. So some of the chocolates are 100 grams, most of the chocolates. Some chocolates are 100.5, some are 101, some are 102, 102.5, 103, some are, it happens, right? Yeah. Most of the processes in the world please understand. Please understand. Most of the processes, repetitive processes in the world, they are following normal distribution. Okay. Right? They are following normal distribution. Most of the processes. This was given by Mr. Gauss. Gauss found that most of the processes in the world, I'm talking about most of the processes, repetitive processes, they follow normal distribution because it is normal to obtain normal distribution. If I take the age of the people who are attending this session, I may say that most of the people are average is 35 years. Most of the people are 35, but some of you are 32, 33, 34, 35. So I can say most of the people are up to 50. And then you have got people up to, let's say 20. So almost none of you are below 20 and almost none of you is above 50. Okay. You will find this. If I take the heights of the people in my green belt and black belt sessions, usually I tell the people, let us predict the heights of the people in the world by just taking 20 samples present in the classroom. And you'll be surprised to know. And you can try it for yourself later on. Average generally comes around 174 centimeters plus minus 2-3 centimeters. And the overall height of the whole world, which we can easily guess using Gaussian theorem or normal distribution, comes to around 145 centimeters to, let's say, around 200, 195, 198 centimeters. Now, how I'm getting all these values? Let me explain this. So again, coming back here. So now you have got, so we have got customer has given us the specification. Now, do you think, now this particular kind of process, which is producing between, let's say, 94 grams to 106 grams. Do you think this process is a very, process is satisfying the customer? Is it a good process? Is this a good production process which produces between 94 grams to 106 grams? They're not producing too many of 94 grams, very few, but still, do you think it is good? I would say these are all the chocolates which are defects. Defects means which are going beyond the specifications of customers. I hope you are with me, right? They are all defects. This 94 grams to 106 grams is known as voice of process, VOP. Voice of process means as if process had a voice, it will tell me that, well, my machines are capable of producing the way we have maintained our machines, the way we have trained our operators or engineers, the way our people are skilled. They are going to produce chocolates between 94 grams to 106 grams. We call it as voice of process. Fine. Now, up to here you are with me. Let us now go back to Mr. Gauss. Mr. Gauss, he studied the repetitive processes in the world multiple times, and he found an interesting phenomena. What is that interesting phenomena? He found that every data set, let me give a simple example. If I take the, my travel time to my office every day, one day I take 30 minutes, another day I take 32 minutes, another day I take 29 minutes, 27 minutes, 36 minutes, and so on and so forth. I will get an average, which is 30 minutes. And I will also get some other value, which is known as standard deviation. Standard deviation, let us say standard deviation is 5. Now, it is very easy to get the standard deviation nowadays using software, or it is very easy to get standard deviation using Excel sheet also. There's a formula for standard deviation. I may not be explaining this in the classroom live, but I can give you a video. You can watch it at your leisure later on, where I have explained to you the philosophy of standard deviation, and please do watch. So I'm also giving you certain videos. In fact, there are a lot of videos with me which explain the various concepts of Lean and Six Sigma. And if you are interested in watching them, you can always subscribe to our channel, which is Anexas channel, Anexas YouTube channel. Anexas YouTube channel, just go and click there, click on subscribe, and you'll get access to the videos, which of course includes what is standard deviation. I have even derived the equation of the standard deviation too. But right now, because of limited time, I'll not be explaining how to calculate standard deviation. But please, I'll show you using a software called Minitab. I'll be using a software called Minitab. which if you join my session, you also will get to learn about the software. We give you the software in the classroom. We give this software to you. Otherwise, you can also learn from Excel sheets. You can get Excel sheet, you put the data, and very easily you can get a standard deviation. So don't worry about calculation of standard deviation for the time being. But if you are interested, standard deviation, the details are given here in the chat box. We'll also send you those links in the email. Once we complete the session, you'll get an email, and all the details of standard deviation is given there. So now coming back, Mr. Gauss, he found that every data set has got an average and every data set has got a standard deviation. And he found very interesting thing that, so average is represented by X bar. So I'm just representing it as X bar. He found one interesting thing that everything follows normal distribution. Yeah. Most of the stable processes. There are other distributions also, but we will not cover them. The philosophy applies to all the distributions. Whatever is applicable to standard. See, every types of distributions have standard deviations. So I'm just teaching you the most commonly observed distribution, which is probability distribution, which is normal probability distribution. He found that plus 1 times standard deviation, plus 2 times standard deviation, and plus 3 times the standard deviation. And on the left side, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 times the standard deviation lies the 99% of the total population, 99.73% of the total population. So please understand, I'm not making a judgment or making a statement about the sample. This was the sample which I have drawn from my travel. Every day I travel and I collected 15 samples, let us, which told me that average is 30 and standard deviation of these 15 samples is 5. 30 minutes. 30 minutes and standard deviation is 5 minutes. Okay. Now I can predict about all my travels during the whole year. How? By applying Gaussian theorem. Gaussian theorem. And what is the Gaussian theorem? Gaussian theorem says within plus minus 3 times the standard deviation lies 99% of the total population. Okay. So let us predict about my total travel time during the whole year. So this is 30. 1 time standard deviation will be how much? 30 plus 1 time standard deviation. This is 5, right? So 30 plus 5 is 35. 2 times standard deviation will be how much? 40. And 3 times standard deviation will be how much? 45. This will be 25. This will be 20. And this will be 15. So I can now tell me, I can now tell you, sorry, I can now tell you, can tell you that 15 minutes is the minimum time probability distribution. Again, very highly improbable that I will take less than 15 minutes and highly improbable that I will take more than 45 minutes. Right? And this is the voice of my traveling process, voice of process. So 99% of the time, I'll be traveling between 15 minutes to 45 minutes. And let me call these values, which is minus 3 times standard deviation and plus 3 times LCL, lower control limit and upper control limit. And please understand LCL and UCL. I'm not saying it is not LSL. Remember, this is LSL, USL. LSL and USL are given by the customer. They are voice of customer. Specification limits. But the control limits might be different. Control limits are decided by the process, by your performance. So my traveling data is telling me that my lower control limit is 15 minutes and upper control limit is 45 minutes. LCL is 15 minutes and upper control limit is 40 minutes. Up to here you are with me. What is control limit? Minus 3 times standard deviation. And what is upper control limit is plus 3 times standard deviation. And LCL and UCL, the range is known as voice of process. Okay. This is how my process is behaving. This is how my traveling process is behaving. Are you with me in my traveling journey of average 30 minutes and standard deviation 5 minutes? Okay. So once again, to recap, I collected the data. These are the samples of my traveling. Yeah. I found the average is 30 minutes, standard deviation is 5 minutes. Using Gaussian theorem, I found that most of my 99% of my processes are between, or my travels are between 15 minutes to 45 minutes. Okay. And please understand, this control limit is different from the specification limit. Specification limit is governed by the customers. So if I just try to project it here, let us go back here a little bit. My control limits of my chocolate manufacturing, they are, can you guess? They are 94. So this is LCL and this is UCL. And this is known as voice of process. Lower control limit and upper control limit. Yes. So my Shab, you're right, and Sarika Saini, you are also right. Yes. This is known as voice of process. Now, ideally, voice of process should be within the voice of customers. So if I just replace this histogram with the, let us say, I'm just replacing this histogram with the probability distribution. Now I'm producing errors. This is all errors which I have displayed in yellow. Errors, defects are there. But what if? So here I can say my, if I want to do calculations here, my average is 100 grams and standard deviation is, I think, 2 grams, right? 100, 102, 102, I think, somewhere 104 and 106. 102, 104, 106. And here 98 and 96. Yeah. And so 96 will be somewhere here, 96. And here it will be 94, right? Again, how did I get these values? Average was 100, standard deviation is 2. So 100 plus 2 is 102, plus 2 again 104, and plus 2 again 106. So this is how my process is today. Well, it is producing a lot of defects. Now, because it is producing a lot of defects, one way of reducing the defects would be, what if I reduce my standard deviation to, let us say, 1 gram? Let us say there's too much of variation in my process. People are following their own operating procedures. So I standardize everything properly. I train everyone in the standard operating procedure of operating the chocolate manufacturing machine. All the operators are now using a standard operating procedure. Raw materials also, there's not much of variation. Everything is like very, very nicely done. And now I have reduced. Now I reduce. I am reducing the standard deviation to 1 gram. It can be reduced. Variation can be reduced. Now what will be the new values? 100, 101, 101, 102, and 103. Here it will be 99, 98, and 97. So the new values will be somewhere like this, right? 103. So now new voice of process. Now voice of process has changed. Process has changed its voice, right? Because I've trained the people, I've improved something. I've trained the people, I have overhauled the machine. I've started operating the machine in a better way. My variation is reduced. Now in this situation, can you imagine how many errors I am producing? Almost very, very less. Maybe 0.1% or 0.2%, because there is a still probability, you see. There's still a probability of going beyond the specifications. There's a probability, right? Very few. But now probability is very less. Probability of producing a process, a defect in this process is very, very less. So by reducing the variation and improving the process, I have reduced the defects. We can measure the defects in percentage, or rather than measuring, because if the defects are very, very low, percentage measure will be very, very difficult to indicate. So we measure in DPMO, defects per million opportunities. Defects per million opportunities. Okay. So area between USL and UCL. Yeah. If you are going beyond USL, yeah, specification limit, this is USL, right? 103 is USL. This is LSL. Yeah. So ideally, your UCL and LCL should be within the USL and LSL, in short. Yeah. And if you further reduce the standard deviation, let's say, you reduce the standard deviation, really, really improve the process to 0.5, your process will be wow process. So let me find out what a process would be if the standard deviation is 0.5. Process will be 100, 100.5, 101, 101.5, right? And here it will be 99.5, 99, and 98.5. Wow. Probability of defect in such a process is very, very remote, very, very remote. Almost 3 defects in 1 million opportunities. Very, very less. 3 defects in 1 million opportunities. And this we call it as a 6 sigma process, because now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, my specification, the LSL and USL are away, far away in terms of standard deviation. They're far, far away. 6 times the standard deviation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, the VOC will, voice of process will still remain plus minus 3 standard deviation, right? It's not changing. This is the now new lower control limit and upper control limit, right? This is the now new voice of process. This was the earlier one. Now the new voice of process is, wow, what a beautiful process. This is the new process. This is the new voice of process, right? New voice of process is somewhere which is not producing any defects, right? Okay, so I think the same thing is displayed here now. I kept explaining this simple graph to you. It took long time, but let us see that graph. This is the one which I just stopped. So ideally, your voice of customer should be wider as compared to voice of process. Then you are not producing any defects. Now, how is it possible to do these improvements, reducing the non-value-added activities and reducing the waste, reducing the variation in the process, reducing the defect? How is it possible? By following define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Okay. So improvement projects are done by by green belts and black belts. These green belts and black belts, they will do the projects. Yeah. Because see, you will develop a statistical thinking. Your thinking will change. When you look at a machine, you know it has got a voice. When you look at a process, it has got a voice. How do you get the voice? Collect the sample, take the average, get the standard deviation, get your plus minus 3 times standard deviation, you get your control limits. Every machine, every process, in every manufacturing company, every bank. I just gave manufacturing example, healthcare, but they are all data, right? Waiting time of patients, average is 30 minutes, standard deviation is 5 minutes. I know patients wait between 15 minutes to 45 minutes. Change that to any industry. All are numbers. Green belts and black belts and master black belts, they become masters of these numbers. They know how to deal with any problem, how to convert these problems into projects and complete these projects successfully. We have done it many times. We have done it many times. I've got a lot of credentials. Towards the end, I will be happy to show you those credentials. If you stay on for half an hour more, my team can tell. I think we have got how much time left. If you can just tell me, my team can let me know, because yeah. So now let me describe what is DMAC, and now we will understand some more tools and techniques. So green belts and black belts and master black belts, they undergo a training. Green belts, they undergo they are taught around 100 tools, I would say, which can improve any process in any industry. Black belts are taught additional 50 tools. And these green belt training is typically 3 days, plus a lot of video material also is given to you. If you want, you can elaborate and further expand on it. In 3 to 4 days, 3 days usually, you will become a green belt. Yellow belts are the people who know what is Lean Six Sigma, but they can't do a project. They can't apply these tools and techniques. You might have understood today, you might have understood lower control limit, upper control limit, but you can't calculate it. We have not practiced it. You've understood the concept, but you can't deliver anything to any tangible project to the organization. Although you are aware of the tools, but the green belts have practiced those tools. So when you come to my green belt sessions, we do it together. A lot of examples from various industries. We do it, and we also do a project. So today I will do a project, because you are yellow belt. You don't have to do it with me. I will show you. I'll just show you the concepts. Just watch. Try to understand as much as possible. I will not repeat many times, because see, in the green belt, generally I repeat it. I keep checking with you. Have you understood? If you have not understood, then I'll explain again. But right now, please understand, this is a yellow belt training, also being recorded. You can watch the recording as many times as you want. And trust me, if you watch the recording one more time, you will understand each and everything, because I have taken care. You might have missed out while I'm speaking. You might miss out on some word, etc. Don't worry. Go back, observe again, listen, and you'll get all your answers. And if you don't get an answer, you can still write to us. But when in the green belt or black belt, it's more like interactive. Right now, there are more than 100 people. I can't interact with everyone, although I'm taking some of the names, but I can't interact with everyone. But in our green belt session, it's just restricted to 20, 25 people at the most. and I can interact almost with everyone over the period of time. Black belts are capable of doing bigger projects, cutting across different domains. And master black belts, and we are one of the few companies in the world which conducts master black belt training. So these 4 days of training will enable you to guide others, the green belts and black belts, to do the projects and also implement Lean Six Sigma in any organization in the world, and also become self-employed professional. That's the best part. You can walk confidently into any organization, say, I'm a master black belt, I can improve your processes, and usually you will end up in improving those processes. We give you enough skills. Now, let us learn about DMAC. So to give an example, I've seen, because I see people from various industries, I'll take an improvement project of reducing recruitment cycle time in an organization. It could be any organization. Recruitment, everyone knows, right? So that is why I'm taking recruitment. Now, we'll be learning some of those tools. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control is the methodology. Define phase, we'll learn SIPOC. We'll learn project charter. Then we'll also learn types of data in the measure phase. We'll understand normal distribution. A little bit we have already understood, but we'll understand better. What is control chart? We'll learn about them. Then cause and effect diagram, Pareto, box plots, scatter plots, and process mapping. Very briefly, all of these you will be learning very briefly. I'll not go into the details. I cannot tell you how to do how you can do a box plot or scatter plots. I will just show you the demonstration. I'll tell you what are the uses of these. Okay, but you'll understand overall. You'll understand the concept. That's more important. And then we'll talk about 5S and POCA UK, etc. Now, let us do the improvement projects. Now, problems are in the processes, not in the people. Please remember that. What is the definition of a problem? Definition of a problem is, and I'll take you back to my definition of a problem is anything which the customer is unhappy about, any of the output which is related to any of those, either cycle time, it is delayed, or the cost is high, or there are too many defects, errors, or the weight variation, if you whatever CTQ you're talking about. This is the definition of a problem, right? Simple definition of problem. Customer is unhappy about one of your outputs. But please understand, don't blame the people for this. Problems are in the processes, not in the people. No one comes to the organization thinking, today I'll commit mistake, today I'll delay. But he ends up delaying. He ends up making mistakes. It is due to the system. Change the process, change the way you are doing things, and you will reduce your errors, reduce your costs, reduce your times, or whatever weight variation. If you want to reduce the weight variation, whatever you are trying to improve, you can easily improve by attacking the processes and not the people. Please understand this. So everything is about process excellence, right? And we follow DMAC, define, measure, analyze, implement. First, we define the problem. Define problem. We write the goals, problem statement, goal statement, we form a team. Okay. Then we measure what is the action? Collect the data. We'll make okay, so 20, 30 samples of our recruitments. Well, my average is this much, standard deviation is this much, and it is going beyond my specification limits. A lot of delays are happening. Okay, let's measure. Analyze why this problem is there. Please understand, whatever I'm trying to improve, we call it as why. This is why. I'm talking why. So I'll put why here. And whatever is causing the problem are known as X factors. So I'll do a cause and effect diagram. I'll do a fishbone. We'll learn. I'll briefly explain all these things to you. Then I'll do Pareto. Wilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist who found that 80% of the problems are in, he found 80% of the wealth or money in Italy was with 20% of the people. Yeah, that was 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle. So Joseph Juran applied this to quality, and he said that 80% of your problems, 80% of whatever you are trying to improve here, recruitment cycle time, I'm trying to reduce, right? I'm trying to reduce the recruitment cycle time. There might be many factors which are influencing my recruitment time, but only 20% of those, only maybe 3 or 4, I have maybe listed 10 causes, but only 20% means 20% of 10 is 2. 2 causes are responsible for 80% of my delay. Which are those? I will use Pareto technique. So I'll tell you what is Pareto also. Then once I know, I can also map the process in detail, do a process mapping, value stream mapping, detailed process mapping, and identify the non-value added steps. That becomes my analyze phase. And then go to the improve phase. Okay. Improve phase means now I am brainstorming. Brainstorming on the root causes. What are my root causes? What are my root causes? And finally, once I brainstorm on and get solutions to my root causes, once I get solutions to my root causes, then I would have improved the process. I would have reduced my recruitment cycle time. Then I would like to control the process for a long, long time. So here in the measure phase, I may find my process is taking, let's say, 100 days or 50 days, whatever it is. I would like to reduce it to a better process. Yeah. So these are my control limits, lower control limit and upper control limit of my before improvement. And now I have got a new lower and upper control limits of my improved process. It means reduce recruitment cycle time is reduced. I would like to sustain it for a long, long time. So how to sustain it for a long, long time? That is what we will find out. So let us begin. So start with its defined phase, CPHQ. We form a team. We identify the team members or stakeholders. Anyone who is positively or negatively impacted by the stakeholder is known as, anyone who is positively or negatively impacted by the project is known as stakeholder. So important stakeholders would be HR director, who is also designated. See, the head of the department of the process, in whose process you are doing the project, becomes a sponsor or the champion. And the process owner is a person who's managing that process. Whatever process you are trying to improve, that manager of the process is known as process owner. So here the recruitment manager is the process owner. So, and the team members who are doing the project, they will be known as green belts. We have formed the team. Now we start with the CPHQ. See, first we focus on the process. Which process? The recruitment process. Whenever you are doing a CPHQ, usually you start from right to left. Okay. So first you identify the customers. The customers are the departments. Outputs are the recruited employee. Process, you just list down high-level process steps. Don't go into the details in the CPHQ. Only high-level process steps. 50,000 feet view of the process. Well, these are my process steps. And these are the inputs. IT system, job description, CVs, budget, HR staff, etc. The output measure is known as Y. What is the output measure here? Recruitment time. Right? That is a CTQ, critical to quality characteristic. And recruitment time is high because of the X factor. So all the measures All the measures on these are known as X vectors. Okay. So I have to measure. You cannot improve if you cannot measure. Remember that rule. But let me ask you, can you measure everything? Can you measure everything? Or do you agree that there are two types of data? One can be measured and what cannot be measured. What do you think? Everything can be measured or everything cannot be measured? Do you agree with this? There are two types of data. Something can be measured, something cannot be measured. Well, my dear friend, let me tell you everything. So there are three rules. You cannot improve if you cannot measure. And the second rule is you can measure everything. The third rule could be if you think something cannot be measured, go back to rule number 2. That means everything can be measured. Now, how to measure everything? There are two types of data. One is continuous data and one is attribute data. Continuous data is something which can be represented on a number line. Number line, if you go back to your mathematics class of school, your mathematics teacher used to say that, there is a number line ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity, goes on and on and on and on and on, right? Any point on that number line, on that continuous line is known as continuous data. Like age, my age is 54.8 years. So it has got a decimal point. It can be represented on a number line. It has got a unit. It has got a possibility of a decimal. Remember, procurement time, 55.5 days. It has a days. It has a decimal point. A good sample size is 30 to 50 sample is good for estimating overall population. It doesn't mean population size could be anything. Population size could be 1,000, 20,000 or 2 million, doesn't matter. 30 sample is good enough to give you the shape of the data, and you will get whole information about all the population using your normal distribution curve, right? Plus minus 3 times standard deviation will give you the range of whole population. Very easy. But the attribute data is something which we think cannot be measured, right? In that case, I can measure it using categories and counting how many times that particular category is appearing. Okay, so let me give an example here. Let me give an example and let me take the help of the videos. And all these videos, by the way, there are lots of videos. Can we measure happiness? Charles is asking. Let me give you an answer. Again,
Hi.
go by the, yeah, I have answers to all your questions, don't worry. And these videos are also given to all the green belts, by the way.
Place, it can also have a unit. Say, for example, if you think something cannot be measured, then probably it is attribute data. Now, let me tell you, how can you measure anything? There are two types of data, continuous data and attribute data. Continuous data can be.
So there are two types of data, as I told you, continuous data and attribute data. Now this is being explained using an example.
Be represented on a number line. It can have a decimal place. It can also have a unit. Say, for example, age, height. Age is 52.5 years. That's my age.
Oh, that was 2 years ago, right? So now my age is 54.5.
Hi, I'm Amitabh Saxena.
Oh, sorry.
Centimeters. Cycle time of a process 3.5 hours, or procurement time in an organization 120.3 days. These are all continuous data, because they all have a possibility of a decimal, means they can be expressed in decimal points, and also they all have a unit. Now let us talk about attribute data. Attribute data can be expressed in categories, and categories can be counted. Say, for example, if you want to measure happiness, so easiest way to measure any attribute data is to create a category, and if possible you can create a binary category. A presence or absence of that attribute can be one of the simplest categories. So if I take the example of happiness, two categories I can create: happy, unhappy. So if I want to increase the happiness in the employees in the organization, then I can always count how many employees are happy. Let's say 60 employees are happy and 40 employees are unhappy. I can express this as proportion. That means proportion of happy employees in my organization is 0.6 and proportion of unhappy employees is 0.4. And it can also be expressed as percentage. Now this proportion or percentage, they don't have a unit. And a count like 60 employees, I can't have 60.1 employees who are happy. So the count will not have any decimal point. So this is what continuous data and attribute data is.
So please understand, if you have understood this part, continuous data and attribute data, see, you will also find that when you are looking at the any attribute data, so one of the easiest measure or various ways, sometimes you'll see people are also looking at percentage. So proportion and percentage are almost same, right? 60% and 40% out of 100. So I'm expressing proportion means in out of one, portion out of one. Say, if the circle represents 1, so this is 0.6 of that 1, and this is 0.4 of that 1. And percentage means cent means 100, right? So if the circle is representing 100, so this becomes 60% and this becomes 40%. Whichever way you want, but you get your measure of happiness. Now, what is the purpose of measure? I want to increase the happiness, isn't it? So today, I'm at 60% happiness. I'll do a DMAC project and I'll increase, I'll do, after 3. Typically, DMAC projects, if you're a green belt, it will take 3 months time. And if you're a black belt, it will take around 6 months time. So after, suppose you're a green belt, then after 3 months, you will do certain things, you'll analyze why the people are unhappy, etc., get a Pareto chart, get to the root cause, and you'll increase the happiness to 80%. Then this difference is what an organization will be looking for. So when you are doing an improvement project, you will always look at improving something. Here, I'm improving happiness. Otherwise, if I'm right now, our job is to reduce the recruitment cycle time. So let us go back to our job, whatever problems which we are facing. So now we have made a project chart. We'll make a project charter and we'll write that today the problem statement is the recruitment cycle time of engineers is around 50 days. And we would like to reduce it from 50 days to 30 days. So it has to be a smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goal statement. And also it should mention what will be the savings, how much money I'm going to save if I complete this project. Great. This becomes my project chart. It's like an agreement between the green belt or black belt and the senior management saying that, well, I agree to do this project. And senior management is telling, I agree to support you. Yeah. Now I start collecting the data. The why, the delays, the errors, these are the symptoms that something is wrong in your system. Remember the systems map. Remember the systems map. Right. Something is wrong with your output, delay, error, high costs, unhappy customers, dissatisfied customer. But the causes are somewhere here. When I go to the doctor and tell him that I'm having fever, the symptom is the fever. He measures this, of course, there is a CTQ. He says that, well, I'll measure your body temperature. And he measures it, but there's a symptom. He doesn't try to reduce the temperature. He actually finds the root cause. He conducts some data analysis of blood test and X-ray and some more data, blood pressure, etc. And based on that, he gives them medicine. Similarly, you are like green belt or a black belt is like a physician of the process. Customer is complaining, dissatisfied, delays, errors, high costs, etc. But you will go to the root cause analysis. You have to measure both. So you have to measure both Y as well as X factors. Yeah, because Y is the symptom, X is the actual problem. Y you can just monitor, but X you can control. So we learned about some basic testing, then we collect the data, put the data into histogram and calculate the sigma level and calculate the defects. How? See how? I'll explain that. I'll give an example. First, I will define what is a defect. What is a defect here? Any recruitment taking more than 60 days is a defect. Out of 47 samples I collected, 27 were having defects. So my defects per million opportunities would be 27 divided by 47 multiplied by 1 million. Now, I'll not go into details of sigma level calculations right now because idea is to give you a bigger picture overview. So it's very, it takes around half an hour to understand the whole process of calculating the sigma level, which in my green belt the class I will explain. But for the timing, please understand that there's a way to do that. Nowadays there's automated way. Similarly, there are a lot of automated ways to even do the histograms. You don't have to really do all these things nowadays. Gone are the days of doing everything, any calculation as a green belt or a black belt. Don't have to calculate. Let me show you if I am able to pull out the recruitment cycle time. Okay, yeah, I have got that. Yeah. So I collected the data, let's say. Yeah. I collected the data. And I found that, the recruitment cycle time is, just a minute. Yeah. So I just, get this data. So this is recruitment cycle time. Okay. 52 days, 47 days, 50 days, 54 days, 59 days. And then, well, let me just, and I'm using Minitab here. When you come to my green belt black belt session, most welcome, please join. I will tell you the details how to join very soon in next 20 minutes. Please hold on. Don't go away. Very nice. I'll give you the dates, links, etc. Please join. So basic study, but you have to be a yellow belt first. So I'm just making you a yellow belt. So I just and I can get my histogram. Average is 50, standard deviation is 5. Yeah. So it's just telling me what is the status of my, today I am at 50, standard deviation is 5. I can even get my control limits and I can even make a control charts, by the way. Let me explain that also. We still have good time left. So if I go by, take you back to this LCL and UCL, I hope you still remember this control limits, plus minus 3 times standard deviation. If I express this in this normal distribution is, I'm just expressing it. This is LCL, this is UCL. LCL is here 15 and upper control limit is 45. This is my traveling time. Remember that. So this, if I plot the chart of my traveling time on a daily basis, it will look something like this. This is variation due to common causes. Means a lot of causes are acting on my systems. Traveling time, a lot of causes are acting on my system and producing these variations. So 99% of the time, I'll be behaving between 15 to 45 minutes. My travel time will be. So this is my, this is the process is stable, I would say. I can predictable process, stable process. But suppose I'm getting, sometimes I'm going to 90 minutes. I'll say there's some special cause. Usually it doesn't happen. 90 minutes is not the usual happening. Something special has occurred, maybe some traffic, some very special cause. I can assign a special cause to it. We call it a special cause variation. And we say that process has gone out of control, which usually doesn't happen. But yeah, most of the time, this is what I am. This is my range. This is the way I am behaving. And my whole objective is to, when I say I am improving a process, my whole objective is to get new control limits. This, let's say, is waiting time of patients in the hospital, or waiting time of your deliveries in a manufacturing company, 15 to 45 days. Or in a hospital, 15 minutes, 45 minutes of waiting time. You would like to reduce it to 5 to, let's say, 10 minutes. Yeah. So this voice of process today is telling this is before the improvement, and you would like to make it after. This is not a statistically significant difference. Not, okay, yesterday I took 40 minutes, now I'm taking 30 minutes and feeling happy about it. I've reduced. No, this is the natural variation of your process. Any variation within this range is not like not to be happy about it or feel sad about it. This is natural variation. Yeah. The real happiness lies when you change the control limits. And preferably it should be well within the specification limits. The customer is telling you that, well, please take less than 15 minutes. This is voice of customers. So I'm trying to change the control limits so that it matches the voice of customer. It is less than the voice of customer. So that's the whole idea, right? So, well, I just go there and I just do the chart right here. So here I did a control chart. I can draw a control chart if I want. Control chart. Very easily, the life is very simple with Minitab. I'm just showing you. So this process is stable, right? It is under control, it's stable. But it's not making the customer happy. See, the process may be stable, process may be under LCL and UCL, but LCL, UCL itself is too high. So I would like to reduce the LCL and UCL, but the process is stable. At least it is ready for improvement. When I say process is stable, process is under control, it means process is ready for improvement. It is predictable. It qualifies to get improved. But it's like too much of ups and downs. Then I'll say whether let me stabilize the process. Then only I will improve it. Yeah. Now, why I'm like that? You like to know, right? Why recruitment cycle time is high? So I will go to the analyze phase and I'll analyze the causes. So there are two doors. When you go to the analyze phase, you can go to the process door or and data door. Process door means you map the process, do a Gemba walk, and identify the non-value added activities. And then the data door, you do a cause and effect diagram, control impact matrix, Pareto, box plots, and scatter plots. So let me very quickly explain that. First, in the detailed process map, you'll go and walk the process yourself. See for yourself how the things are taking place. You'll find a lot of wastes are there. Oh, this is a non-value added steps. You can also do another technique called escape technique. Ask 5 questions. ESCAP. Eliminate. Can I eliminate the process? Can I simplify the process? Can I combine this process with some other process? Can I automate? So in my chat box, if you can see, I've explained a case study. I've given a case study also. Of escape technique. Some process using an example in that video. You can watch this video a little later. But in the chat box, the link of the video is given. And those who have joined a little late, let me remind, you can just subscribe to my YouTube channel and you will get all these videos and many more videos. This is the tip of the iceberg, by the way. What you are getting from me is, it's the tip of the iceberg. There are lots of tools. Very, one of the tools is FMEA, failure modes and effects analysis. It takes around 20 to 30 minutes to explain that. So please watch that video of FMEA, failure modes effects analysis, which prevents the failure of a process. In fact, after you watch that video of FMEA or even escape analysis, you can do this next week, but tomorrow, in fact, why next week? Tomorrow you can do an FMEA. Tomorrow you can do an escape technique. Identify, ask these 5 questions. So FMEA analysis, please see, they are very valuable resources I'm giving you. You may not realize how valuable it is till the time you watch them. Okay, and it's all free for you. No money. Don't worry. So here, escape technique. I ask, can I eliminate? Can I combine? Oh, I can combine these 2 steps. Can I make it parallel? Can I, simplify it? And I'll come out with a new process map. And then let's look at the data door. Data door means, get hold of the people and brainstorm on all the possible processes, whatever comes to your mind. Brainstorm on all the possible causes and classify them into man, machine, material method, or you can brainstorm on based on man, machine, material method. Mr. Ishikawa gave us the 6 M's technique. All the problems can be classified into man, machine, material method. All not problems, all the causes, sorry. So causes can be classified into man, causes due to man. Problems are caused by so many factors. So 6 M's. Man means mankind. Machine, measurement, methods. Or environment, instead of environment, he said Mother Nature. To make it 6 M's. So you brainstorm on all the possible causes. And if you are using, Minitab, it can also be done. Man-related causes you list down here. Machine-related causes you list down here. Material, all you list down. And once you do that, then you can do a cause and effect diagram. Just click on the buttons and you'll get your cause and effect diagram. So whatever you have listed, it will appear in a cause and effect diagram. And you cut paste this on your PowerPoint presentation. We also give you a PowerPoint presentation. The template, raw template. You can keep on putting these graphs and charts, and towards the end, you will end up improving the whole process. Just follow these steps and you'll end up improving the process. Well, now, not all these causes would be responsible equally. So what I can do, I will find which causes are occurring again and again. So these are some of the causes which occur every time. Whenever there was a delay, I listed down the causes. Then I can count how many times each cause is appearing. So I can use Pareto. So let me count, I can see that, assessment time appears 13 times. Job description is not available, appears 9 times. Approval time is delayed, it appears 6 times. So these are the causes which are occurring more frequently. And the percentage contribution is also given, like 34% is contributed by assessment time. Yeah. So 34% is contributed by assessment time. 23% is contributed by job. So what is the cumulative? Cumulative is first assessment time plus job, not see this, these two plus these two. This is the cumulative line. First two together, first three together, first four together. Now percentage wise, if you see, total is 100%. At 80% is contributed by these 4 causes. So these are known as vital few. If I focus on these 4 and forget about other 20 causes, I will solve my problem. So this is how I can do. But now let me validate these causes. See, maybe this may be correct, it may not be correct, who knows? So let me validate these causes. So for that, I will follow certain rules. I'll tell you what are the rules. So I have made my, here, I can also, if I don't have time to collect the data, I can also take the voting. Here they have taken, you can take votes, here they have identify the main causes using voting. You can use it using real data collection. It depends on you. Then they have done a Pareto chart. Now, if you remember, we followed when it was a continuous data, I drew a histogram. When it was attribute data, I did a Pareto chart. When I'm comparing the two charts, like when I'm trying to establish a relationship between two factors, X and Y, and one factor is continuous data and one factor is attribute data, I will do box plot. And the both are continuous data, I will use scatter plot. Okay. So let me demonstrate that. What do we mean by that? So here, I collected further data. Let us see the recruitment time. So let's say recruitment number 3452, candidate number 3452. My approval time was around 17 days. Job description was not available. Type of hiring, it was expat. And assessment time was 18 days. And the total recruitment time was 52 days. So I've collected the data of X factors also. Can you see that? Yeah. So I've collected data not only on Y, but also the X factors, which I've suspect are affecting my Y. Now what I will do, I will see, is the recruitment time getting affected by the approval time? Both are continuous data. Both are continuous data. So what I will do, when the data are continuous, Y is and X both are continuous, I can make a scatter plot. And when Y and X, this is continuous and this is attribute, like, job description available, job description not available, I cannot do a scatter plot. Then I will use, when the job description available, my time is less, otherwise my time is high. We call it as box plot. Now there is not much time for me to talk in detail about box plot, but just, I'm giving you a basic idea. So when the job description is available, my time, recruitment time is less. So it appears that the job description really matters. Availability of job description is really the root cause. But suppose this was the case, job description is available or not available. Doesn't matter. Still, I'm taking between, 20 to 60 days, available or not available. Then I would say job description availability is not the root cause. So the whole idea is to use my analysis. So recruitment time and approval time. Let me talk about that first. Both are continuous data. I will use a scatter plot. So let's see. Recruitment time versus approval time. Okay. Well, it appears that approval time matters. If I want to really reduce the recruitment time, let me attack the approval time. That is my root cause. And I'll find my ways and means to, reduce the approval time. But suppose, let me take another example where they don't relate to each other. Like, for example, assessment time. I feel assessment time is impacting the recruitment time. Is it? Let us see. Let us find the scatter plot between the two. And there's no relationship. I'll waste my time if I reduce the assessment time taken to assess the candidates, because even if you take 15 days or 20 days, 30 days, your recruitment time is not related. Actually, something else is responsible for the delays, not the assessment. Don't think if you reduce the assessment time, it will reduce your recruitment time. No, because something else is the root cause. So don't waste your time in working on assessment. Similarly, if I just take lastly, like recruitment time versus, let's say, job description availability, I will use a box plot. I'll use a box plot. So recruitment time and let's say, because this is attribute data, like, job description available, not available, it is attribute. I cannot use scatter plot. Yeah. So yeah, job description available, it takes less time. And actually, I can even find how much time less, 45 days here and 55, almost 10 days, it makes a difference of 10 days. So my solution would be, now job description availability is the root cause. Now from next 10 days, get all the job descriptions of all the roles, and straight away in future, I'll reduce my recruitment cycle time straight away by 10 to 20 days. What a great idea, isn't it? I will work on job description, but I will not work on all the X factors. Like, for example, is the type of hiring, is it affecting? Let me see. Let me do it for types of hiring. Well, the types of hiring, whether they are from this type or that, doesn't matter. Don't worry. Expat, local, all are same. The root cause is somewhere else. It's not in types of hiring. So don't blame, or don't blame the manager. Don't department. Some department take long times. All departments are same. Here, if this were the departments, all departments are almost same. But suppose departments, the one box plot is up and down. You say, oh, one department is taking a big issue. I'll address them. So I am doing data-oriented decision. So I hope you got this. And very, very quickly, I'll just tell you that you can join my live sessions. So I'll tell you how to join my live sessions. But before that, I'll tell you that, you have to also improve. I'm not going to the details of improvement, but you can use FMEA technique. I have given you all the links. So further studies we can do using links. And finally, you get to the root causes, you do the improvements. And once you do the improvements, once you see the difference, then you also hold the gains by using control actions, review systems in place, process management systems in place. So finally, every CEO would like to see something like this, before and after improvements. So if I just go to a control chart of before and after improvement, so before it was the control limits were between 35 to 65 days. Now recruitment is average earlier was 50, right? Now it has reduced to 25 days with the control limits between 16 to 33. And my process has changed. And I'm able to sustain this for a long, long time. I'm monitoring it by placing. So this is how a typical project is done. Let me tell you, how can you join my sessions? So first of all, let me ask you, some of you who are interested, if you are interested, so let me ask you this question. Just let me know if you are interested. So I'll be happy to give you all the details. And we'll also send you we'll also send you the links, how to register. And those who are interested in getting all these certificates for yellow belt, if you register a green belt and black belt, certificate comes to you for free, but yellow belt, whatever you will pay for a lunch or a dinner, very minor administration fees charged, because we have a team. We have got some expenses which needs to be taken care of so that I can keep conducting these sessions, right? So if you are interested, I'll be happy to send you the details. If you want only the yellow belt certificate, as I said, there's a separate link. You can click on that link, and you can also register today if you want. So how to register? Let me tell you. So the way to register for our courses is, because if you register and if you become a green belt or black belt, you will get rid of inability to anything if you face a problem in your organization. And you will stop living with the problem, and you will stop depending on a job also, because you can yourself, you become self-employed like me, So you can start on your own also, improve the quality, reduce the costs. So we have trainings, some of the trainings. So let me show you my team. If you have got the dates slide, can you please show the date slide? I'll just look at some of the questions. And a recorded video is available on our YouTube channel. I told you about, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's recorded. It's just actually going live there. It will be like, available forever. So these are the dates. If you look at those dates. So these are the dates. We start our next batch. So we have got actually 4 options. You can join either Saturday, Sunday batch, or you can join Friday, Saturday batch, or you can join morning batch only, weekday batch morning, Monday to Thursday, or you can join evening batch, Monday to Thursday. Also, you can keep interchanging, as per your convenience, so that's, and also once you attend our sessions once, you can join our future sessions totally free of cost, any number of times. So these are the dates. And the next one, can you please go to the next one? So these are the timings. These are the timings: India time, UK time, UAE time, Australia time, Europe time. These are all the timings. African time, Nigerian time also we can give. So Saturdays and Sundays, actually, I keep traveling also, like Riyadh, Jeddah, Dammam, Lagos, Melbourne, Copenhagen, Bangalore, Mumbai. These are the places I do the trainings in the classroom also. But right now I'm referring to these classroom sessions are very costly. So better I prefer you go with the online sessions. I'll just tell you. So some of the free sessions which I keep conducting, please, if you are interested, just register for our training program. Some of the free webinars which are upcoming, you can attend these free webinars also, and stay in touch. You can like our Facebook page, Anexas Europe, LinkedIn page. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and you'll get all the details. And yeah, And now let me share with you the fees. A little bit of fees is there, which uh, is not that high. Actually, normal fees is very high. You'll get a free lifetime access to all the complimentary courses and video recordings. All the video recordings of the sessions will be given to you, which you can access throughout your. It's a lifetime access, right? 50 projects from various industries will be given. Minitab software, 2 projects are done in the classroom, the way I did today, 1 project, but it was like a very briefly, but you will do the projects with me in the classroom. And certification from Anexas Europe. We also follow all the certification processes. We are affiliated to PMI, Project Management Institute, IASSC, People Cert, and we follow the standard syllabus of all the universities. There are multiple certifying bodies. You will be getting certified from AEC, Copenhagen, and you can appear for any other exams of your choice, IASSC, ASQ. We are also affiliated to IASSC. If you want the vouchers, examination voucher, we'll provide you the vouchers of IASSC examinations. And ASQ, if you want ASQ, or whichever. AEC is included in it, in the fees, which I'm going to show you. So you can become you'll get a lean expert certificate, a green belt, black belt, master black belt. You can get as you want. If you want to go for each and everything, the total cost is a quite expensive one. But for you, it has been reduced as the offer, because next month we have a foundation day coming up. So this is a foundation month offer for and this is just in once in a year it happens, and next year it may happen or not, we don't know. So lots and lots of things are coming to you for free. And not only that, on top of it, further, on top of whatever is mentioned here, further 50 to 70% discount, which is applicable today. So much more, much less. So you are getting almost in the published discounts of 5 to 10% overall. Okay. So it's a very good idea to at least evaluate it. Just evaluate it. See whether if you want, this is a classroom session I'm talking about. If you just want a self-learning experience, you just want training material and videos, that is also possible. So that is separate. So you can tell us, what if you are interested in that. But in the class, if you are doing it in class interaction, for which I just told you the fee, you will also get support from me when you are doing the real projects anytime in the future. You'll also get support for 2 projects in your whole career. Plus, once you are expert in 1 or 2 projects, of course, you will be able to complete any project with much more ease. You can also go for green belt, black belt, master black belt. Then you'll get further discount. You can also combine it with green belt, black belt, master black belt, and project management. If you are from healthcare, then CPHQ. You can have your multiple options, and further, almost 1 course will come to you for free. And personalized attention from me, that I promise. And yeah, a lifetime association with me. You can also follow me on LinkedIn. You will come to know about my dedication about process excellence, process improvement, project management, Lean Six Sigma. So we hoping to connect with you at least on LinkedIn. Otherwise, most I'll be happy to get you in my green belt, black belt, or master black belt training. You are invited to attend my data science also, project management, CPHQ, Power BI, AI and machine learning sessions also. Feel free to join us in those sessions. We are well known, very well recognized organization. Certification of AEC is well recognized. Anexas Europe, Copenhagen, coming from Denmark. It's like for the last 20 years, hallmark of quality, we have been issuing certificates. And yes, some of the applications in the industry, how we do, let me tell you, when we choose the projects, when we are doing the Lean Six Sigma implementation in an organization, any questions you have, how to register, etc., feel free to, uh, you know, feel free to ask. Then, yeah. So when you are doing the projects, generally we create infrastructure in an organization. We identify the champions, black belts, green belts. We allocate the green belts and black belts projects to the employees who are typically high level, like intelligent employees, high caliber employees. They are selected as green belts and black belts, and the champions are trained to become they're trained to become well versed with Lean Six Sigma. They don't have to do the projects. Typically, the HODs, head of the departments, and green belts and black belts, they get trained and they take up improvement projects, and they are able to do positive. So once they join the classroom, they generally, like say for example, this particular, let's say the senior management here were trained in champions training. Once the senior management, they were convinced, then after that, senior managers convinced, they selected some improvement projects. They nominated the green belts for the classroom. I'm taking examples from various units.
1, 2, 3. Anti-Muda. And your slogan, 1, 2, 3. Green air, go! Okay. And your song, 1, 2, 3. Here it goes.
Let's go green! Let's go green! We are the champions! We are the team!
Wow.
Yay! Well done!
And your team name, 1, 2, 3.
So basically, you select the projects, train the green belts, and once they are trained, then you present the projects to the senior management.
Well, we have Alex with us, and he has done excellent Lean and Six Sigma projects in National Healthcare Service and in hospitals. So,
National Healthcare Services UK, for your information.
well, we have Alex with Lean and Six Sigma projects in National Healthcare Service and in hospitals. So, Alex, would you like to tell us something about it?
Hello, I'm Alex Wells, Head of Service Improvements at the Royal Liverpool University Hospital. I've been really fortunate to present today on how us as a trust are using Lean and Six Sigma principles to deliver better care for our patients. I've presented today on a lot of the work that we've done around how we've improved patient outcomes, reducing mortality, improving length of stay, and also talked about how we can actually realise some financial benefits from that. Over the past 2 years, we've been really fortunate that we've done some good work, and it's actually delivered us £2 million worth of quality efficiencies through delivering better patient care.
So Bank Muscat also, we have done many projects. Even Nakel, which is the largest logistics company of Saudi Arabia.
My name is Mohammed Al-Bayati. I'm the CEO of Naql. Through Anexas, Mr. Amitabh has taught me and more than 1,000 employees of Naql, Six Sigma and Lean processes. This affected our bottom lines by millions of riyals, and it is having a big impact in changing our company from a local company to a regional or multinational company. Thanks to Anexas and Mr. Amitabh.
So I'd like to invite you for our trainings, and hope to see you soon. I'll just, many credentials like here, Saudi health ministers of Saudi Arabia, ADNOC, EDCO, the SABIC, Aramco. This is about Dr. Tarif Alama. who has attended. He's the Deputy Health
We have
Minister of Saudi Arabia.
Dr.
He
Tarif
has
Alama with
our
us,
training.
Deputy Minister.
Dr. Muhammad Abdul Ali, he has also,
in Saudi
be part of our course. So welcome to the training, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to. So please take the advantage of the huge discount. Almost, on the published rates, the huge discounts are available for the next 2 days. So please go ahead and register.
So I reached out to our operations team and we headed straight here to Formula Rossa, one of the signature rides here at Ferrari World at Abu Dhabi, and we decided to work on how we could increase the reliability of the time it takes to update our queue time boards, because as you know, every minute that guest waits in a queue line is super important.
We had the brainstorming session with the team and we went through a few topics and then we chose the most appropriate one for the course. The chosen topic was reduce facilities management service request closeout time.
So I was eager to use statistics and data analytics to solve a business challenge. One of the challenges we had is the erosion of the retail per capita spend in Ferrari World Abu Dhabi, and that was my topic.
Well, actually, being an HR professional, recruitment lead time has been always a problem across the board. So taking that subject in specific will help me improve onto the recruitment cycle.
So what we had worked on was redesigning the product launch process, which we've now implemented.
We had a discussion within our team, and the most critical area that we faced was our closing process. So we decided among ourselves that this is the one that we should go for.
Yeah, the course that we did was a week-long online facilitated course. It was fantastic. It showed us the whole methodology behind Lean Six Sigma, and it also provided a various amount of tools that we could be able to use to improve all of the existing processes that we have here in the park.
Well, it was 1 week training. It was very interesting and always energetic in terms of interaction in the class. Every single day has been different and the knowledge sharing has been remarkable.
This gave us a broader perspective to understand the issues, and it gave us opportunity to do some brainstorming, and we were able to come up with better solutions from a wholesome perspective.
It was a very stimulating experience where we met every day with the colleagues, all very engaged, eager to learn, and keen on and willing to actually pause, step back from their day-to-day work to get some new perspectives. So it was really a refreshing exercise.
When an issue comes to us, we try to think about it from a Lean Six Sigma perspective. We try to define the issue. We make a project charter about it. We try to analyze it. So it has changed the perspective of how we look at issues.
Statistics allowed me to understand the root cause of the problem and come up with the very targeted improvement initiatives that we aim at implementing within the year. So every dirham.
I hope, thanks for those who have already registered, and I'll see you there in my classroom. And those who are still thinking, they can make up their mind by tomorrow. It's a very, very huge discount. Some special offers will be also given to you once you register. And so see you soon. I'll leave you with our videos, which are related to Lean Six Sigma in different industries. We can start with manufacturing, and then after that healthcare, maybe then banking and the telecom industry. The world we have created is the product of our own thinking, and we cannot improve the world without improving our thinking. The long-term chronic problems of manufacturing companies like low productivity, lower machine efficiency, high rework, high inventories, high product wastage can't be solved using only experience, logic, and intuition.
You might be a good operations person, a good engineer, or an excellent operator, but you need to have basic knowledge and understanding of some problem solving and process improvement tools too. Here is how Lean Six Sigma can improve your processes in manufacturing. Lean Six Sigma is defined as a business improvement method that aims to maximize the shareholders' value by improving the quality, speed, customer satisfaction, and reduce the costs. It merges tools and principles from both Lean and Six Sigma to do this. It has become the most popular business strategies for deploying continuous improvement in the manufacturing industries. With its help, you can make sure that only essential steps remain in a process. The moment I say Lean Six Sigma techniques, high quality, low cost, increased profits, and customer satisfaction should automatically come to your mind. It is very rightly said that machines are mere pieces of metal if they cannot be made efficient. Lean Six Sigma helps you to do this. What is the core of Lean Six Sigma? It's DMAC. Yes, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. It helps you to reduce the existing problems with unknown causes. Here we train the staff of the manufacturing units as the green belts and black belts, and they convert all the problems into improvement projects. So now the difficulties become opportunities. Then they complete these projects and get certified. It's a win-win for both the organization and the employees. Now, how does Lean Six Sigma decrease the cost? Shijo Shingo said that the most hazardous waste is the waste that we do not recognize. Firstly, Lean Six Sigma focuses on removing the 7 wastes like overproduction, transportation, inventory, etc. from a process. In manufacturing sector, this step can lower the cost of a process by leaps and bounds. Secondly, Lean Six Sigma focuses on solving the problems caused by a process. Here we focus on the processes, not on people, because we believe that 85% of the problems are due to the processes and not due to the people. Defects in your product can cost your organization a fortune. So the focus is on reducing the defects by focusing on the processes. Let me talk about some Lean Six Sigma tools that can be used in manufacturing. Value stream mapping, Kanban, 5S, cause and effect analysis, control charts, DMAC, 5 Whys, Kaizen, hypothesis tests, etc., etc., etc. Let us talk about a few. 5S. A well-organized workplace becomes important if you want to eliminate waste and reduce the errors. 5S is the way to do that. Control charts. By understanding the control charts, you can understand the difference between the common causes and special causes. For special causes, you take immediate action, and for common causes, you take long-term actions. Kanban. It is a visualizing tool on maximizing the flow of goods and work without unnecessary inventory or transportation. Then we have 5 Whys. Ask why 5 times and you will get to the root cause of the problem. Hypothesis tests. They establish the relationship between the outputs and inputs, and you can get the root cause with 95% confidence. Value stream mapping. It is used for defining and assessing the movement of the raw materials from the beginning of the process to delivery to the customer. It is a way in which the current state of a process is documented and the future state is visualized. If you want in-depth knowledge about all the tools and techniques, you can always join my Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and Black Belt training programs. So that was about Lean Six Sigma in manufacturing. I hope you have got a clear picture about why Lean Six Sigma is so important in the manufacturing industry. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss out on our important updates on the tools and techniques of Lean and Six Sigma and even project management. Happy learning! There are so many stakeholders in construction industry: the customer and the users of your building or construction, the project organization, the contractors, and the staff at the construction site. Lean has something for everyone. Of course, our primary objective is to satisfy the customers, both external and internal, so you can reduce the project delays and quality defects in your organization. You can improve the safety of the employees at the construction site, reduce the inspection times and non-compliances, drastically cut down on the rework resulting from errors. We have even reduced the architectural designing time in many cases to almost 50% of the original time by eliminating the wastes in the process. Once a process has been perfected with the lean methods, there are safeguards as well as checks and balances put into place to ensure that this efficiency continues through the life of a building or structure that has been constructed. In this particular industry, errors mean danger and extremely costly rework using expensive raw materials. So taking the time to eliminate errors before they happen is crucial to the success of any company specializing in constructing any type of building or dwelling. If a construction company is looking to minimize defects, then lean course can really help the bottom line and make a huge difference. You can even combine it with Six Sigma and make it lean and Six Sigma implementation to take the advantage of statistical tools also. The employees take up improvement projects after getting trained as green belts and black belts. They focus on identifying and eliminating any unnecessary waste in that particular system. This is one aspect of lean certification methodology that creates great demand for certified professionals, especially true in the construction industry. A specialized lean certification in construction will give the employees the tools they need to improve the quality of whatever they are building. Lean is a skill set that all of the leading construction companies in the world know to invest in when it comes to hire their employees. Because this eliminates the errors and also improves the quality, customers start to take notice and become loyal to the brand, knowing that they will always be able to get the best possible building at the lowest possible prices. Companies who utilize lean methods know the importance of quality, and the quality of their employees are at the top of the list. Certified employees are a resource that construction companies are willing to invest in. This is why salaries of certified individuals are on an average significantly more than the non-certified colleagues. This also improves the overall corporate culture within a construction company. Because of the certified individuals, everyone knows their role and expectations within the company and exactly how teams need to work together to bring about the positive changes. Do share this video with your friends in construction industry and let me know on what topic I should make my next video. I am a Lean and Six Sigma certified Master Black Belt, have implemented Lean in many construction industries and would like to invite you to my Lean construction training programs.
Akhtar has a question, I think. Yes, thanks a lot. Thanks everyone. And maybe last video of 100 seconds. Lean Six Sigma to summarize in 100 seconds, and then see you soon in my trainings. So thanks a lot for attending the session, and thanks to all those who have registered.
Lean and Six Sigma is an improvement methodology which reduces costs, defects, errors, cycle times, and increases the customer satisfaction, resulting in better efficiency and higher profits. In short, it does whatever a CEO or a shareholders want. It is used in all domains, be it manufacturing, services, oil and gas, IT, construction, banking, healthcare, textile, telecom, BPO, and whatnot. Here, we convert the improvement opportunities in the organizations to projects and train people like you who are working in these processes as green belts and black belts who execute those projects in 5 phases: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control.
In define phase, we set the direction for improvement by writing a problem and goal statement and forming a project team. In measure, we collect the data and understand how the process is performing. In analyze, we analyze the root causes, we map the process, identify the waste, use cause and effect diagram, Pareto analysis, graphical analysis, and hypothesis tests. In improve phase, we generate ideas to take care of root causes using lots of tools like brainstorming, mistake proofing, FMEA, etc. And in control phase, we sustain the improvements for a long time by using process management and control charts. To become a black belt, you just need to know addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and of course, a lot of fire in the belly. Do I need to tell you that? Of course, it is Anexas where professionalism meets fun and where people fall in love with statistics and process improvement. Well, that's what our clients tell us. And we take pride in telling that we are the best. If you are not doing Six Sigma with us, then you are missing something.